of the philosophy seminar. Last week we discussed the relationship between the universal and the individual, or between the individual and the divine, or God. Today we're going to discuss the 5 bodies of each human being, that each human being has 5 bodies and the function of those bodies. Now, according to Vedantic philosophy, the ultimate reality, as we described last week, has the qualities of Sat, Chit, and Ananda. That is, eternal existence, unlimited pure consciousness, and unending bliss. And we learn that we, as spirit, are that also. That is, the spirit is made up of the same essence as the divine, as is a wave made up of the same essence as the ocean. It's the same thing, it's just taking a temporary form. This essence, however, this spirit, having, let's say, the need for expression, or for some reason expressing itself, each will have to decide for himself or herself the answer to this question: why did spirit need to express itself, and in a particular way? Expresses itself in the material world through 5 increasingly more dense bodies. The least dense of those bodies, the least with the highest vibration, is called the causal body. In Sanskrit, it's called the Ananda Maya Kosha. Ananda Maya Kosha, it comes from 3 words. Ananda means bliss, Maya means illusion, and Kosha means cover. Or here, the word Kosha will mean cover, or vehicle, or body, or sheath, actually, is the actual meaning of the word kosha. So, in this causal body are stored all of the experiences of the soul. It is, if you like, just as the personality has a subconscious, we could say that the soul has a subconscious in which are recorded all of the impressions of all of the lives. So just as the subconscious of this personality contains the experiences of this personality, the causal body, as the subconscious of the soul, contains all the experiences of all the previous incarnations, including this incarnation. Besides containing all of the experiences, it contains all of the qualities or the characteristics which this soul has developed in its process of evolution. So in the causal body is the cause, this is why it's called the causal body, is the cause of the qualities of the particular incarnation. So in the causal body we have the character from which the specific personality is created. So in this field of energy, we have the information which will decide whether this particular incarnation will be male or female, whether it will be a body which is healthy or ill, or in some way impaired, the state of the mind, the qualities of the mind. The soul is born with many of these aspects already determined. Of course, the childhood years play a great role in the further development, but the soul is not born without characteristics. It's not a white slate. It has qualities when it is born. Now, this causal body has also been called the morphogenetic field, coming from 2 Greek words, morpho, which means form, and genetic, which means to give birth to. So the causal body is also that which gives birth to the form. We discussed this morphogenetic field when we discussed our ability to affect others by making changes in ourselves. So we have a common subconscious, if you like, or a common superconscious, in which the qualities which we develop are deposited, if you like, in this cosmic bank account, or this cosmic storehouse of human qualities. So we can call this level of our being the causal body or the morphogenetic field. And this part of our being continues to exist after death. This is what creates the continuum between one life and the other. This is what allows one life to be connected to the other, because the qualities which I develop in this life will be stored in this causal body, and in my next incarnation I would then project a new personality in a new body based on the qualities which I have developed in this life in addition to all of my previous lives. You see? So this is why this is the cause of the incarnation. And it's the source of our character. And the source of many of our talents and abilities. For example, some people we see without even having to study something are able to understand it and do it very easily in comparison to other people. And the logical explanation would be that they have dealt with this in previous incarnations, and that this information is available in their causal body. And so it takes them much less time to master this particular activity or knowledge. On the other hand, we could say that that's also the source of many of our unexplained fears or habits. Because we may have fears of things with which we have had no contact in this life. And a logical explanation would be that in order for me to fear something I've had no contact with, I may have had contact with that in a previous life. So a lot of phenomenon can be explained through the presence of the causal body. As we come down, then we find another body, or level of our being, which is called the higher intellect. Or in Sanskrit there's two words. One word is buddhi, like Buddha, but buddhi. And the other word is a rather long word. It's Vijnana Maya Kosha. Vijnana Maya Kosha. Vijnana means wisdom. So this is the body or the sheath of wisdom. Or it's also called the higher intellect. Or it's also called the witness. So this is the part of our mind which is able to observe our personality and evaluate the way our mind and personality function. This is the part that watches how we function. It may also be associated with the conscience. If we had to put the word conscience somewhere, I would put it with the higher intellect, that it has discrimination. Not difference between consciousness and conscience. Conscience, we're talking here about the part of ourselves which understands right from wrong, what is useful from what is unuseful, which has discrimination, spiritual discrimination. So the ultimate purpose of the buddhi, or the higher intellect, is to observe the mind, to analyze the functioning of the mind, the personality, and gradually correct it.